a good longtime friend and a guest that I'm super excited about for selfish personal reasons, business wise, but also too because this individual is going to give some game to you as well on how to grow your business. So this is a solid foot in the door, and we're going to talk about that today. And this is also a marketing area. I guess specifically, I call it a product, 9 by 12, that I've seen a lot of people in this space do, right? I've seen a lot of people in this space teach on, but I consider Jake the foremost expert in direct mail because this is where I learned his method from. And in complete transparency, I believe that's where a lot of other marketers learn a lot of these strategies and skills from. So I like to give credit where it's due. And there's been a lot of other consultants and marketers that have just made money as a side gig to supplement income, to having this type of marketing as a foot in the door to get clients to sell your core services. And also as a core service, where I've seen a lot of people in this space that have only focused on direct mail as their core service and are making good money like every single month. So with that said, I think a lot of you have known that, recently I've moved. I'm now in Sunny Isles, Florida. It's kind of like a smaller pocket in the Miami area. And some of the things I've noticed just as opportunities here is, we've been mapping out just building a different type of media company where we're integrating directories with direct mail, as a core service with digital coupons, right? So what we're calling these are smart cards, right? And this incorporates the physical. Let me kind of make this a little bit bigger. The physical component of the direct mail card with the digital, which we have a software called Coupon Reach that creates trackable coupons, and these coupons track the customer data, the customer spend, the recency of purchase, and then we've integrated it into Go High Level, and we're able to even track inside of that platform. So what we're doing now is we've been mapping out and just working on building more of an integrated system with, direct mail combined with the digital component of coupon marketing. But as we kind of jumpstart this process, I wanted to get the expert in himself, because before we complicate the model, I just want you all to have some understanding and some baseline understanding, or even a refresher if it's been a while, on how all of this works. So with that said, I wanna welcome Jake, also known AKA Bob Ross, on the call. Give Jake a warm digital welcome, because he's the man when it comes to direct mail. Are you here, brother?
I'm here. Thank you, Jason. It's so funny when I get called Bob Ross, because I don't get called that a lot anymore. That's the OG people. I know I'm around the OG people. Yeah.
Like, who's Bob Ross?
Yeah. No, it's great. I appreciate you having me so much, man. And I can't wait to have you in front of my audience too. You're one of the top people I want to bring to my audience as well, because I haven't done anything. I don't do like webinars just that much, and you're like one of the top people that I would love to have back on in front of my audience. So
Dude, it would be an honor. It would be an honor, man. You just let me know when, and we'll have some fun. I want to come to YouTube too. That's kind of the next goal also, man. Is
Listen to this. I don't know if I told you this, Jason. I don't think I did. I started taking YouTube seriously about a year and a half ago, and I get anywhere from 10 to 20 business owners every single day contacting me for help.
Wow.
Every single day. This is every single day, year round. It's anywhere from like 10 at the minimum to up to 20 every single day, just from YouTube. It is, I thought for the first like couple months, I thought, this would plateau or this was just a spike, but then it started going months, and then it was like a year. And now I've accepted now that this is normal, and it's only going up from there. It is insane how much. So at any given time, we have like 125 or so on average active like campaigns that we are doing for business owners just from YouTube on any given day.
Wow.
It is wild. And then I look at Postcard Mania, okay, is like a huge postcard marketing business. Probably a lot of people have heard of them. They're in Clearwater, Florida. They just sell, postcard campaigns to businesses. I watched I was creeping on them, competitor. They're a huge competitor. And there's a YouTube video from like a few years ago where someone toured their office, and the person on there says they get 1,200 calls a week.
What?
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm here like pinching myself over 10 to 20 a day. They're getting 1,200 a week. And that's just the competitor. Like the amount of businesses interested in direct mail is astronomical.
Wow.
And we don't think of that as marketers. We're usually so caught up in digital stuff that we fail to see like these huge opportunities that are also there. And I know with you have a really good bridge between digital and traditional and physical postcards and digital marketing. And I think that's where there's an even bigger opportunity, is to have this bridge between both.
Yes. Dude, that's insane, man.
Oh, it is. It really is. It's crazy.
Wow. Wow. Hey, that's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah, it's wild. Just our CRM, just if you were to look at it, like I can't pull it up because I can't like show all different people's businesses and stuff, but like it's just we're literally modeled after like how a hospital, like a doctor's hospital or a doctor's patient would be. There's X amount of people in the waiting room, there's X amount, and it's just constantly shifting because these things are turning over so fast. Like YouTube is really where it's at. I am going all in on YouTube. I think you can see some everyone listening here can see a lot. There's not a lot of YouTube experts out there, believe it or not. There's really not that many like people who teach how to do YouTube. There's only a few, and Think Media is one of them. Really good channel. And in I follow their podcasts, one of their messages. So this is really good for any marketers that's listening to this. One of their podcasts are like one of the questions is like, how does a realtor use YouTube? Like, how can a local realtor really use YouTube? And this will make sense for a lot of marketers, for you, for me, for all of us that are listening. And we can share this with our business clients. Like, YouTube is owned by Google. It's also a tremendous search engine. It's used as a search engine, and Google results will return YouTube's as well because they're their own. YouTube and Google, same thing. So when you search for like realtors in whatever Florida, it's going to return. If you have there's likely not really that much of a YouTube presence locally, just like there wouldn't be a YouTube presence of marketers locally. If you start making videos, you will quickly become that YouTube top result. When someone searches for like marketing or whatever the business is, Google will return YouTube results for that local business. Does that make sense? Like there's not going to be many kitchen and bath local YouTube pros. Like there's not going to be very many SEO in Boise, Idaho with a YouTube presence. But if you can lock down your local area's YouTube presence, you will return at the top of search because Google will return video results in YouTube.
That makes so much sense. And you usually don't really see that from like the local expert, on YouTube, so to speak.
You don't see that. You really don't, especially in small town. We don't all live in mega cities. Like if you live in a metropolis, like there's likely no one else in your industry, a competitor that has a solid YouTube presence. You can claim that spot pretty quick. Start showing up on Google search results.
Dude, those are gems.
Yeah, which is also something you don't have to do yourself, but you can help clients with. You can help a client that you're working with get search results, get business because of their YouTube presence. Because when people search for things locally, Google will return YouTube stuff as well. A lot of times there just isn't any. There's no local, kitchen guy on YouTube, so they don't return it.
That's true. That's true.
And Google really likes, people like ingesting video or consuming video, so it will return good results. That's just a reason to be on YouTube for anyone.
Man, we already starting this call with some goodness right here. That's nice, man. Well, if it's okay, I'm gonna shoot you the screen and.
Oh yeah, can you share the screen? I don't know how to do it. Can you share it?
Yeah. Let's see here. Hey, do I know how to do it? Hold on now. Dude, greatly appreciate you coming on, man, and really excited that you're here. And for everyone on this call, this is going to be a hang loose call. We're going to learn a lot. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be in the background taking notes, but I want you to just, open your mind. And as Jake has it on here, he's going to show you some simple foot in the door methods. Just kind of open your mind to different strategies of how to get clients, how to get your foot in the door, and how you can even get free advertising. So this is going to be a really good call. So I'm going to mute myself, Jake, and do your thing, man.
Okay. But feel free to talk if you want, Jason.
All right.
So I just made a few slides. This is going to be so easy and casual. There's nothing going to be too technical, but feel free, because I don't want to bore you. I hate being bored. If you have questions, though, I can see them on there. I might not look at them for a little bit. I'm just gonna talk about some surface level stuff to get you pumped up, to change your business, to help changing others. And I've been teaching this for a long time. Similar to Jason, it's just why he's one of the few other marketers that I really get along with. The stuff that I'm doing is, you can go back 10, 15 years now, and it's the same stuff. And it's the same with you, Jason. Your consistency is really it's not built on the next shiny object, the next shiny object, the next shiny object. So that's why I get along with you really well, Jason. I think that's why a lot of people trust us, you and I.
Yeah. Thank you, man. It's principle based. I call it principle based marketing. It's things that are going to stand the test of time and be here, for a while. And even with direct mail, it's as a foundation, it's solid, it works. But then it's things that you can integrate with it that enhance it more.
Correct. Exactly. Especially now with QR codes and stuff, where you can just quickly get someone onto a digital, the place you want them going. Next. And I have this slide. Hopefully everyone can see this slide, but it says every business can afford $500. I think that's a key concept when it comes to 9x12 system, which I'll show you if you're not familiar with it. But when I first started marketing, I knew marketing was really expensive. When I started selling marketing, I was like, I want to sell something that isn't that expensive, because I personally, and I still do, really want to work with really small businesses. I don't have much of an interest in working with large corporations or anything. That's not my thing. I like working with your everyday mom and pop, brick and mortar. I will never lose that. That is who I like working with. I like seeing their businesses grow. I like talking with the owners. I like seeing a difference in a local community. And I like walking around and knowing everyone. It feels good when you know everyone. And I like working with everyday business owners. So I knew right from the beginning, I was like, I want to sell something that's a few $100s. And I kind of made it my mission to make things as cheap as possible as I could, deliver as high of a value, real value, something truly valuable, but also not have it really that much money. And the first concept I just want to share is that every business can afford $500. Every single business. If you are in business, you can come up with $500. Like any real business has $500. That's I wouldn't say like a penny, but it's like a really manageable amount of money. Even for really small struggling businesses, $500 is something that they can come up with. So having something to sell in that range opens up a lot of businesses that you traditionally couldn't sell like your regular digital marketing to. You can't really sell like an SEO plan for $500. You can't sell designing a website for $500. Even that's a one-time thing, and it would be a really crappy website. Like this, you're usually having to sell things in the thousands of dollars as a marketer. So bringing something down into the $500 range and giving it a lot of value, a lot of real value that can deliver real results is a nice thing to have as a marketer, especially if you do a shared postcard like I'm going to show you, it nets you $4,000. So just selling everyday local businesses things for $500, you're going to make $4,000 in profit doing this. So I really like having things that are really, really low priced. That's my next thing. And most local businesses never get to do expensive marketing. Like direct mail is one of the most expensive things. Direct mail and TV are probably the most expensive kinds of marketing that you can do. A direct mail campaign in general, you're talking over $1 per piece. So if you're sending 10,000 of a postcard out or something, you're spending $10,000. You're spending somewhere in this like $7,000 to $10,000 or more range. Most businesses can't afford that. Plus, you have a lot of moving parts like design and the knowledge of what to do, printing. There's all these moving parts, postage, mailing, getting the list, demographics. There's like all these moving parts that most small businesses, they'll never get to experience. They'll never get to like really take advantage of expensive marketing. They're stuck doing things like guerrilla marketing, posting on Facebook, making TikToks, maybe running some Google ads or Facebook ads. That they never really have the money to do expensive marketing. And by nature, some of the businesses just don't have big marketing budgets, like a pizzeria, like a cafe, a restaurant, a small retail store. Like they're not going to have $10,000, $20,000 at any given time to really spend on marketing. Their marketing budget might be like $5,000 for the year or something. It might be something really, really small, and they stick it in they make TikToks and do some Facebook ads. They never get to really experience high-powered marketing. But with the 9x12 system, you can give them. That's me holding one of my templated cards. You can give them that thousands of dollars of advertising for just a fraction of the price by just simply getting a bunch of businesses on one large card. So you can send 10,000, 5,000, 10,000 of these things out that would cost them $10,000 to do. Instead, it's only going to cost them a few $100. So pretty much it's a revolutionary thing that has never really been around. This is something that this is never supposed to happen. Most businesses aren't supposed to get this kind of advertising. A cafe is never supposed to get $10,000 in direct mail or any kind of ad. It would never fit into their marketing budgets. This gives them that opportunity. It's why I really like it, because every business under the sun can now have a chance to advertise and get 10,000 postcards out. It would never happen otherwise. It would never get to experience it. So I'm very proud of that. And I just love it. And that's why this system works for so much. You're just for so long, and you're just the person putting them together. You get paid by putting them together. You're just patching other people together and doing all the moving parts, which really aren't that bad. So I hope this makes sense. I started this by just doing it myself. It was to get free advertising for my remodeling business. And this is a really old picture because this is one of the first ones I did. I got 50,000 of these for years per month by just getting 2 other businesses. So instead of getting 6, I was doing those as well. Plus I was doing these where I just got 2 other businesses. I got a liquor store and a pizza place to pay for the cost of these mailers. They got it at a fraction of the cost. And then I got my ad for free, and we all shared this. So imagine getting a postcard that has a pizzeria and a liquor store and then your business, whatever that is. It has stickiness. Like people will keep this thing around. It's getting 50,000 of these per month free, totally free. Imagine getting essentially $50,000 worth of advertising free. No marketing budget. 100% just getting other businesses together.
Dude, and I gotta just to speak to that, it's actually fun too. And like not even the aspect of getting that type of visibility in the community, but like I know the first time that I filled this card, I found it to be like it's like a game almost, because and it also just makes sense. Like I would go to the business and say, hey, would you like to get your business in front of 5,000, 10,000 people in the area? And, and just by the fact that if you were to send this type of direct mail, once you show it to them yourself, it would cost you X amount of thousands of dollars. But we're going to be able to put you on this card and share this space as more of a co-op, and it'll cost you a fraction of the cost. Like just that alone, like was just easy yes. Such a solid method, man.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked at questions, but I will in a second. I'm going to throw this up here too. Sapphire is like a member of mine. She's in Canada though. So I know sometimes we get people in Canada. You probably have an audience in Canada too, but people will ask, does this work in other places? It works in Canada too. So she posted this recently in my Facebook group. Some people just do this every now and then. You had mentioned that in the beginning, Jason. Some people, they do one, they got some clients and maybe they're low on clients and want to start something up, or a life event change. And years later, you start it up again. Like, it's totally fine. Maybe you need to pay some bills. You need to redo your kitchen, buy a pool. Like, you can just do some of these cards and take care of those financial things as you need. You don't have to do them every month. You can do them whenever you want. It's always there for you. It's something that's always there for you. I love it.
It's a good point. And I think too, like, I know when we filled our card just the first few times, every one of those businesses that agree to say, yeah, I'll do it for 500, 700, whatever the price is, that's also not just a client that you just got paid for, but it also opens that relationship door to sell them other services.
Oh, totally.
Because it's like,
if I was going to sell SEO, if my main thing was SEO, the last thing I'd be selling is SEO. I'd be selling them postcard ads, getting them on there, and then getting their trust, and then selling them SEO.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? You use this as a foot. You use this as a foot in the door. Use it as a way to get people in. Because it's harder. It's harder to sell a lot of like digital. You want to do SEO is very competitive, social media posting. It can be harder to sell those, where this is very easy, but those services become easy to sell when they trust you.
Mm-hmm.
You have a great, because that's all people usually want, is someone they can trust.
Yep.
You can't really buy that. You can't buy the trust. You can't like bamboozle someone today into trusting you that well. You can't just, it's really hard. Trust has to be kind of earned, and 9x12 spaces, postcard spaces don't require a lot of trust. It's just something that makes sense. And it's like, yeah, I'll give this a shot. Then they trust you, and then it opens up the door to all these, whatever services you're selling.
That's true, man. And I think too, have a lot of it is also what I've noticed, the tangibility of it. Like, they can actually hold this in their hand. Like there's something that they can say, my money that I'm parting ways with, this is what I'm getting in return. And I find that helps tremendously. Like, I think a lot of you probably on this call have noticed the Google review cards. I've seen companies selling those, and I think the reason why that's even a perfect foot in the door is because you can go to a business and say, hey, would you like this review card or this review plate? And they can see it, they can touch it, they can feel it. And that definitely matters to leading to unlocking more sales. So I found that to be true. Every one of these that I sold, I wasn't as slick as some of these others, which I want to learn how to sell this from online and via email. But I literally just went to the businesses that I frequented and in my town and said, hey, this is what I'm doing. Here's what I have. Here's what it costs. Do you want in? And it was the easiest sell. So Jake, I didn't know if you were going to touch on some of the if you were brand new, how to go about doing this.
Yeah, let's do that. Definitely.
Yeah. Real quick, just a quick poll. Is anyone here not familiar with the 9x12 method? Just give me a me. Just give me a me if you're not really familiar with it. And if there's any areas or questions you have in regard to how would you go about selling this? Like, if I were to start this right now, I'm sure I'm just thinking of the questions people are probably thinking. If I were to go and start this right now, how would I make money with this? How would I go about doing this? Like, what's the fastest path to cash, Jake? And if that's in your presentation, what you got,
Yeah,
jam on.
what's up? Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, and I want to bring up some because you mentioned the tangibility and physical. What's uh something we're most of us actually are probably millennials or baby boomers or whatever, but the generation that is most actually fascinated with this is Gen Z. They are not familiar with physical like advertisements like this. If you just Google search this, Gen Z is incredibly receptive to the mail because this is a totally new experience to them. You can run all the TikTok ads you want. They will swipe through. Like they will swipe through ads and they're not even on Facebook. Gen Z doesn't, they're on other platforms. Ads mean nothing to them. They skip past ads digitally, but something arriving in the mail that's physical is it's like the most wild thing to them. It's like the most advanced thing, something they can hold. And as they're getting into their own home over the next like decade where they start becoming homeowners, they go off on their own. We come from generations where we're familiar with getting things in the mail and things, we're familiar with recycling mail and like junk mail. They don't know any of that. They don't know any of that. Getting something in the mail is like an experience to them. They get a restaurant, a cafe or something in the mail, they will hold that piece. They'll get a realtor and this will mean, oh my God, this realtor is like talking to me. Like I should probably call them, and they'll get a listing because they sent it to a Gen Z person in their apartment because they are not familiar with junk mail. They don't even know that concept. Marketers aren't thinking of that, but that Gen Z is like incredibly receptive. So if you catch on to direct mail now over the next decade, it's just going to be more and more powerful because a new generation of people are experiencing mail for the first time. So it's another reason to get excited about selling direct mail.
It's great points, man.
Where's my slides? This is 100% the determiner of success at selling this. I can talk all day about scripts and what to say and how to say it and who to go to. And those are all technical things, but really the ultimate thing is your mindset. 100% will be your mindset. Jason, you mentioned you didn't bother with emails. You just went and talked to businesses.
Yeah.
You had the mindset that you were just going to get this in front. You were sold on it yourself, which is the top thing is that you have to be sold on it yourself and you have to be excited to go bring that in front of other people. That is 100% the determiner of success. If you are, and I'm sure you were scared, right? You were nervous going out there talking to business owners. I've done it a million times. I'm still nervous. But you got to do it. You have to fight. So many of you that are watching this or listening to this and want to do this are thinking of all the ways you can avoid talking to people, which is fine. You can do this over email. You can do this over Facebook Messenger. All those tools work. But I guarantee so many listening here are just afraid to talk to a business owner. They will do anything not to talk to a business owner. Yet you're in local marketing. Like, you have to break past that if you really want to crush these cards out, because you can make thousands and thousands and thousands. You can have so many clients and make so much money in a very short amount of time. In 1 month, your life can be completely changed. You can replace your corporate income in 1 or 2 months. Everything can change in a month or two, but you have to break past that barrier of being afraid to talk to people, even if it's over email or messenger. But just don't be afraid to talk to business owners. Well, you can be afraid, but you have to push through it because we're all nervous. We're all nervous about doing it, but it's fun. It's honestly fun when you go do it. It's like you can leave the day and you have 5 sales under your belt and you just made great connections. I always like you said, it's exciting. I always like to think of it as a game. Like I don't know what's behind that door. I could be buying a new car. That the person behind that door could mean $1,000 a month. They want an ad, they want printing, they want whatever. I could have that client for the next 10 years. And that happens all the time. That could be a complete life changer around that, just behind that door. the next door. And how many doors are there? I want to go to as many as I possibly can.
Mm. That's a good way of looking at that, Jake. Just kind of reframing that thought.
Oh my God, yes.
Along those lines. Yeah, man. Along those lines, I remember when I first got started, and I think one of the guys that answered a question, like the trainers a course I had bought, and I think he was getting a lot of questions like, scared to sell, how do I do this, and I'm nervous. And I was like, yeah, what is that? I feel the same way too,
Yeah.
And he said something that just shifted the way that I thought about it. And I eventually, after that, started to gamify it, what you were talking about. But what he said was that stop being so selfish. I was like, what does he mean by that? And he was like, think about it. Whenever you get nervous to do anything, like let's say we're talking about selling, you're thinking about what are they going to say to you? Are they going to say no? Are they going to yell at you? They're going to say, get the hell out of here, or whatever it is, any of those things. But a lot of it is you're thinking about you instead of thinking about the value that you have to give. If you reframe that thought to, I want to get this in front of as many business owners as possible, because I know the product and the service that I have can help them get as much more visibility and exposure to their brand, which is going to grow their business, which is going to drive in more customers, which is going to get their phone ringing more. And I know the value I have is better than what anyone's doing right now. And I feel very confident in what I'm doing. It's like when you kind of reframe it from that standpoint, and then you approach it that way, and then now you can say, hey, this next door is probably going to be the one. They're probably going to sign up. I'm excited about this. And just changing the way and shifting the way you think about sales and selling can make all the difference.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that wild that it's just your mind? Right. It can turn you from being, and if you're negative about it, you're going to have bad results. You're going to be miserable. It's going to show. They're going to be able to it radiates from you 100% the other way. You're going to like this. You're going to like this, Jason. Because didn't you run track?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
My son, he's 14. This is his first year, and he's in high school track, because he's been in, so he's ran cross country. He's always cross country track, and this was his first year where he did cross country to indoor track to outdoor. So it's 3 seasons in a row. It's pretty brutal. You know what I mean? And he's in ninth grade. So this is a lot. This is a lot on this kid, and he's got the runner's build. He is, rail thin. He's a distance runner. And he went from having really good cross country times to being always at the back in track, because it's a new thing for him, whatever. He's up against high schoolers. He's in ninth grade, he's freshman. But his coach calls me. This is 2 weeks ago. The season's about to end. And he's like, is Caden okay? He's like, because Caden runs the 800. Have you ran the 800?
Man, only in practice. That was not
it's brutal. Event. It's brutal. The 800 is brutal. It is the most brutal. But he's a mid distance. It's a good fit for him. But he's always second to last or something. But he doesn't push himself. He does not he has more in him, but he doesn't push himself. And his times are not improving. He's not hitting any PRs, and his coach is like, does he still want, is he okay? Is he still wanting to track? So I have this big discussion with Caden. I'm like, Caden, you're not pushing yourself. He's like, Dad, I feel like I'm going to puke. He's like, I can't, I don't want to puke in front of everyone. He goes, I just, and he's nervous that his face, people are going to laugh at his face if he's trying too hard, he's pushing too hard if he pukes. And I just had to have a strong conversation with him. And I'm like, Caden, you're not going to puke. I said, look at every top runner in this 800, the ones that come in first. And I'm like, the agony that these people are in, means they're pushing themselves harder than you.
That's right.
I'm like, you are crossing that finish line and you still have a lot left in the tank. You're not pushing. You're capable of going much faster. He's like, no, I'm not. I'm like, your body will not let you die. You're not going to die. So he gets pumped up and he's like, I'm pushing today. We get there and he sees a bunch of kids that are bigger than him. And he's like, I'm done, blah, 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 whatever. He pushes himself. In one race, I suddenly watched this kid look like an actual runner. He beats his PR by 5 seconds. The next time he beats it by another 5 seconds. The next race, he beats it by an additional 5 seconds, which is insane. He was able to cut 15 seconds off this time, and he's dead collapsing at the thing of the track, and it's the best feeling ever. He is the most, he's like, has reached another level. And I'm sure you can relate to this.
Yes.
Just a mindset change. Went from I cannot do it because I'm afraid people are going to, make fun of me, I'm going to puke, then I'm not, to, oh my God, that was the greatest thing ever. How can I push myself even further? This is the best. And that is how it is when you go out selling. Like, you have to just put that fear aside, go do it. And you will be like, oh my God, this is amazing. I just freaking sold 5 deals. I'm walking home here and I have $1,000. I just made, 10 new connections. This is crazy. It is just a mindset. It's 100% mindset. 100%. We can talk about scripts. We can talk about objection handlings. None of that matters. The mindset is what matters. If you're pumped up and you're ready and you're going to get this in front of people and you got something valuable, you will make sales. Whatever you say, you will screw this up royally and you will still make tons of sales.
Man,
that's your mindset.
Preach. That's good.
But yeah, stuff. And it applies to many things in life. Like I just mentioned, Kate, how do you use your body physically, suddenly able to do things you never thought possible. You just had to teach it that it's okay, that this is okay. I can push through this.
That's true, man. And I mean, I think that's for everything. I heard, I'm always listening to something personal development wise, but I've heard that we're not programmed, I guess, to seek discomfort. Like by default, we all seek comfort. And because we seek comfort, whenever we get uncomfortable, our brain says, alert, alert, mayday, this is bad. When really, in order to get to new levels in your life, you have to push past your comfort zones, right? And that's how you grow. Like when you're actually lifting weights, you're tearing down muscle and breaking it down and pushing past your limits. Like, so you have to, like, when you reframe that, challenge is good because challenge gets me better, then if you can reframe it to that instead of challenge is bad, seek comfort, then you're gonna run into it and you're gonna lean into it further and be like, you know what, this might feel a little uncomfortable, but it's okay. I can do 5 push-ups, but let me see if I can do 10 push-ups. It's the same concept. And when you get used to that and say, hey, this may feel uncomfortable, but I know that the outcome and my desire is that it will get me better and I'm going to learn from it. It's not failure, it's just feedback. I'm going to learn from every bit of feedback, every sales attempt, every sales call, every visit. And the more feedback you get, you're going to improve. So I'm 100% in agreement with this.
Totally.
Good stuff.
Totally. And if you go into it with a negative, whatever you're doing with a negative, you won't surprise yourself. Like when you go into a race or a meet or whatever, and you have a negative, like you're not going to surprise yourself. You're going to get less than stellar results in whatever you're doing. You have to go in there with that. You just have to charge in there with a positive mindset. It really is the key to having good success. Mm-hmm. Totally. Yeah, our bodies are weird. Our minds and our bodies are just so, it's like you think we have control, but we don't. We have to trick it. Mm-hmm. We have to force past things. We're all nervous. We're all nervous to start something or talk to business owners or everyone. You just have to push past it. Everyone's nervous.
Yeah.
No one's not nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just have to go do it. And then you do it once and you're fine.
Yeah, that's true.
You just have to have something good that you can get pumped up about. That's another thing I like 9x12. It's like and all 9x12 is I'll put it back. It's just a big postcard. It's a big postcard. You can get it through me. You can get it through any wholesale printing source, and you can make these ads in Canva. I use templated ads. You can just make them in Canva now. It's the easiest thing ever. Just get a bunch of businesses on it. They pay for it up front. I just got a couple sites. These are just some pictures. That's me holding a bunch of postcards. These are other 9x12s that are recent. You can see what 10,000 9x12s. Imagine one household getting one of these. How many houses that is. Imagine being a business and you spend $500, $600, 700, whatever you charge, and you get one of these in every single home. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's an awful lot.
Mm.
And you got the mail guys carrying this. They're doing all your work for you. They're handing this to every house, rain or shine. They're bringing your stuff in, handing it to someone. It's incredible. You can't swipe past it. You can't swipe past it. You can't turn off the ad. You can't install an ad blocker.
Mm.
That's it, man. That's just a picture. So I'll take some questions, whatever.
Yeah, man. I think too, it's like there's so many directions you can go with this. I know we started, and this is when I mentioned that first slide in the beginning, we had started creating a brand. And this is something that you can create, your own brand around, and it's your own advertising service in town. I wanted to ask Jake, for someone who's never done this, like what would be a good battle plan is like the best approach to start it? What would you recommend they do? How would they go about doing
Well,
this?
I think you should, if you have the budget for it, I think you should pick up, and you have a special, because I have a coupon code that I gave to you for your crowd. I don't know if you've told them about that, but
Yes.
I do have a mastery course where everything is A to Z. So if you are the kind that just wants to spend some money and have it all laid out for you, you should definitely get that, because it's really 5 courses in one that walks you through the entire process to where you fill one of these up in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I would, if money allows, I would buy that and just follow the plan. But if you are, besides that, I would just simply think of businesses that are advertising already in wherever you live. So get a list, get paper, Apple Notes, whatever, and just start looking around at all the businesses that are advertising, because those are ones that are going to spend money. They're the ones that are already spending money. You want to get about 12 to 16 of these and just start talking, however you feel comfortable talking to them, whether that's in person, whether that's over the phone, whatever, and just tell them you're a business owner, you're putting together a postcard featuring local businesses. Would they like to be on it? You don't even tell them how many it's going to. You just ask them if they want to be on it. Let them ask you how many is it going to, where's it going, all that stuff. And then you sell this thing for $500 to $700, and that's it. You just keep going until you have the whole card filled. That's it. That is the basic thing summed up, and you will exit with $4,000 to $5,000.
Mm-hmm. It's literally the simplicity of it, and I really appreciate that, Jake. And I will show you all how you can check out the bundle course. It's solid. Even Sandy on here says really, really good course. Totally recommended. I'm going to go over just a couple of thoughts, but I do recommend you pick up that course. And Jake was graceful enough to hook us up, our community, with a great offer and discount. So I'll talk about that later. But one of the things that I did, and this is just me doing this, going to businesses that I visited, is first off, my approach was I went to businesses that I actually frequented, like, your whether it's the local barbershop, but definitely it was a lot of restaurants. And that's a good place to start. And one of the things that I would do is I would have the actual card in my hand, but I would have it in like kind of like those sleeves, like it was just covered up. Like if you ever order stuff from like Office Max or something, they may put it in like one of those brown sleeves. So I had it covered, and I would go into businesses, and man, it's been a while. I forgot my script, but I would say, as far as the bullet points, is that my name is Jason. I'm a business owner in the area, and I'm putting together an advertising campaign that's gonna feature multiple businesses on this card. That's gonna go out to 10,000 people. I was looking for and I would put the niche. So if it was a pizza place, I was looking for one pizza restaurant to showcase on this card, and I'm coming to you first. Is this something that you would see value in, right? And now I think that worked a lot, because the places that I would go to, whether it was like a pizza place or an Italian place or a fast food Chinese place, they wanted to be the one on that card and not their competitors. So like that simple script, if I can find it, I know I've provided that to my community years ago. I'll send it over when we do this replay.
That's the nice thing, Jason. It doesn't change. Like it doesn't change. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't change. The exclusivity, yeah, it's just another. You start like we could talk days about this, and there will be more and more things to unravel. Just the thing, the exclusivity, the fact that there's no other competitor on there. As long as you don't put another competitor on there, it's a huge feature. QR codes, having QR codes, posting socially on it. Like there's so much that you can do with this. You don't know what businesses will be attracted to. Like the exclusivity thing could be the thing that puts them over the, they don't want to give this up to a competitor. They don't want their competitor to be on it. So they may get it just because they don't want their direct competitor on there. Maybe it reaches neighborhoods that maybe you've got attractive neighborhoods that you're going to mail to. There's a process of that. You really got to think of where you're going to mail this to. So some businesses may be really, it's going to hit this neighborhood. It's going to hit these neighborhoods. Oh yeah, I definitely want to be in there, especially gated communities and the lucrative areas. A lot of home services want to be in those. And adding restaurants, like you mentioned, adding restaurants, that gives the card stickiness. It helps keep it around, where they might have thrown a mattress ad away. Now they keep it because it's on the card with 4 other restaurants. So they see the realtor 100 times. They see the insurance ad a bazillion times rather than just tossing it in the trash.
Makes sense. From your experience, what is like, what would you consider the best type of card? Meaning like restaurants and just kind of a mix, or more niche based, like.
I made a big mistake, Jason. I made a huge mistake, and a lot of people do. In the early on, I made a mistake because I really wanted to make the best cards possible. So I would like load it with lots of restaurants, lots of things that I knew people would want. I would turn down people because I didn't think I wanted them on the card. I didn't want a lawyer on the card or something. I wanted to have it all really good, receptive businesses. And what I found was it really doesn't matter. As long as there's a few, if you've got 2 or 3 really good deals on there, popular restaurant, something that people use all the time, the rest doesn't matter. You're going to kill yourself just trying to pick and choose who you wanted. Just let anyone. If a realtor wants to take the back half of the card and that means you get this thing out faster and can work on another one, by all means do it. Take the money. And you know what? The businesses that will advertise with you long term, that will just dump money every month and will want to be on every card that you can, they're the businesses that don't care about response. That will be realtors, insurance agents, lawyers, furniture. They don't care. It's just part of their branding. They want their brand. They don't want another business on there. They don't want a competitor on there. They have big marketing budgets. They don't care what the response is because they don't even track it. It's branded advertising. It's the businesses that get a ton of response that will next month will say, yeah, you know what? We got a lot of business. When it gets slow again, we'll advertise with you. And you're like, what the heck? And that's the kind of people you'll get. They'll be like, yeah, that went really well. Next year we'll do it again when it gets slow.
Like what?
Yeah. So meanwhile, because that's why you think a billboard, outdoor media has any problem selling? No, because they don't. The car dealer doesn't. They're not up all night. The media rep is not up all night. Oh man, I hope he sold enough cars off this billboard. They don't care. They just keep spending thousands of dollars a month. We're so, as independent marketers, you, me, all of us listening, we're so used to 100% results based stuff. You know, if we sell SEO to a client, they don't get enough clicks, they don't get it, they're out the door. We're not used to traditional media where response doesn't matter, where a billboard, you just have a billboard, you have a piece of real estate facing a busy highway, and people will spend thousands of dollars just to be on it. The postcard brings that into our reach. It gives us a platform where exposure is the real thing. It's just, we have a piece of real estate that we can charge people to be on. That's all that is. Wow. And it can be sold. It can be sold. It's an asset. Like you were saying, you're building a thing. It's an asset that can be sold.
Man, that is such a great point. Like we kind of hold ourselves to these standards and put ourselves on a pedestal as digital marketers, thinking ROI and all that. And I've literally been in meetings before. This was years ago, and I was meeting with I remember specifically I was meeting with a franchise owner of Honey Baked Ham, and we were talking about social media, and he was asking all these questions before we get started. And I seen the Valpak guy come in, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to do 1 or 2 zones?" He's like, "Oh, I'll do a couple zones." And I'm like, "What did that cost?" I think it's like $1,000. And I also seen the newspaper guy at the time come in, and he got media from them as well. And it's just like, but he's over here asking me all these questions. It's like, what in the world, man? This is crazy.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. That's true. It's complicated. Like, yeah, digital marketing is complicated. It's great. It's great and everything, but it is, we don't know, unless some of us here, like, were around, like I wasn't around for the like pre-digital age. You know, I grew up with the internet, but for the longest time, there's people they just add that traditional marketing is what there was. Like, you just spend a bunch of money on radio and stuff. You weren't concerned with clicks and conversions and how many things. So this brings that back into our hands, where we forget that kind of advertising exists, but it's huge.
That's so true, man.
And big money. Like, you can spend any amount of money on direct mail. So you get a business with big pockets, they will spend very large amounts of money in digital marketing. And I'm not knocking digital marketing. I really like digital marketing, but you do sometimes hit a wall. Like, I can't give you $20,000 and say, get me to the top of Google right now. Like, you hit a wall with how much you can spend digitally. You can never hit a wall with direct mail. You can spend an infinite amount of money. The same as you can get all the ad-free advertising you want. You can get 100,000 postcards out with your ad on it for free, because you are not limited by anything. You can send as many mailers as you want, as many times as you want.
Dude, that in itself is amazing. I'm gonna take the screen for a moment.
Sure.
I'm gonna show them this. This is good stuff. Someone asked, like, how would you incorporate the digital piece? And I'll just kind of briefly touch on this, but just know in our community we will be taking more of a deeper dive on this. But if you can see here on this direct mail piece, and let me just kind of make this a little bit bigger. See if I can make this image a little bigger. Let's see here. This might help. Yeah, so this is just an example, but if you see on this direct mail piece, I'm gonna go to this first one here. There's a couple things that you can do. So every offer on this screen here, you can add these offers to a coupon directory. And we have software called Coupon Reach, where you can add trackable and redeemable coupons to a directory. So the mechanism to lead to the directory would be scanning the QR code. As you can see, I had on here, you can text a keyword to this number, but QR codes are widely adopted and they're used all the time. So that would be the mechanism to say, hey, you can get these coupons on your phone also. So they would scan that, right? Scan for mobile coupons, and you could add all of these coupons that are on the physical onto the digital in the form of a directory. So what our software does is it can create these digital coupons, and you can select multiple of these offers. You can click claim, and then it will add all those offers in like a single link, and it will send to you on your phone, and all these offers are redeemable. The other thing that we can do right now, in addition to that, is we can also have deals. So like imagine the Groupon style pages. We're just on Groupon. When you buy coupons, or they call them vouchers, you know, when you buy the restaurant deal or $35 for $50 worth of food, as an example. You can, if you also had not just free coupons, you can put those on your physical mailer, and then it can lead to, you know, the purchase or scanning a QR code, and it can lead to each one of these offers, and they can purchase those as well on the digital. So that's how you can combine the two. And there are, you know, some details and nuances as far as like, well, how do you actually build a list from each one of these businesses? And you can actually do that as well in Coupon Reach. So what we're doing, and we've been mapping out now, is not just taking it from adding a digital component of all the physical coupons, but we're taking it further, and we're able to add these contacts into like a system such as Go High Level, and then run automated follow-up campaigns behind that. So that's kind of the process from this standpoint. And I'm going to take some questions, but those who would like to pick up the 9x12 complete bundle, which I highly, highly recommend. And Jake, I want to tell you that's a solid course. I'm going through it now as a refresher. I was like, how did I miss this stuff? It's been a while.
I even go through it myself sometimes. It's like, dang, I'm like, I made something pretty good here.
It's good,
I'll
dude.
forget. There's just a lot. You forget things. You forget. It's such a versatile system. You know, it's so simple, but you can unravel it into so many different things.
It's solid, man, and I appreciate you putting that together. And what I want to do, man, is I may be getting ahead of myself right here. Do you have members too that I remember one time, I don't know if it was in your community or an email, but I've heard like a lot of people are starting or have been selling this for a while, just remote, like from home, from their computer, filling out cards via email.
I have yes. And out, like, if you talk to any veteran, the great thing about this is once you get it going, you're not filling spaces that often because you have them filled, like these are repeat advertisers. So you usually can fill most of your spaces just with some Facebook ads. So that's just a nice, or Facebook messages, not ads, sorry. Just messaging, you know, a few businesses on Facebook. But if you're starting out from scratch and you have to fill like whole cards up with email, there's actually two places to go. One is a guy, Kevin, you can go on my YouTube and you can see it. He's a really good source because he fills his up with email. And then I have, if you go back in my podcast, eventually I have her scheduled for another interview, but I have my friend Monica, she's in North Carolina, and she did, oh my God, probably about 50 of these in all different states from bed rest. So she was actually put on bed rest by her doctor because of like she's had multiple miscarriages, and they said if you're not on bed rest for like 6 months, you won't have the baby. So she was in a bed for 6 months, only got up to go to the bathroom or go to the doctor, and was able to fill something like 50 cards I printed for her over a few years in different states, all email, 100%, never on the phone, nothing. So this is a testament of how well this can work remotely.
Wow, that's amazing, man.
Yeah. It just takes long. You know, email's great, but it can take longer than just hustling and going out. I personally think a mix of everything is best. So email people, send Facebook messages, go talk to people. If you talk to 5 business owners a day, however you're going to do it, if you get this in front of 5 business owners a day, you're going to have at least one sale. So you'll have this thing sold in a week or two. If you just talk to 5 business owners a day, that's all it takes.
That's true. And I think too, thank you, Jake.
Yeah.
So if you go to your grocery store, just different places in your, maybe in your neighborhood, like pick up some of these magazines and even newspapers.
Oh,
Surprisingly, those things are still
right.
around.
Right.
You'll see
You'll see
businesses that
bus
are,
stop, bus stops.
that's true.
Oh my God, bus stops, on buses, billboards, TV, radio. Just turn on the radio. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know we stream, we stream everything, but there will be local radio and you will hear tons of ads. These are people spending thousands of dollars and they will buy on your card.
man, that is so true. Like anybody that is advertising, like right now, when you leave this call, I want you to think like if I wanted to make $1,000 today or thousands of dollars, right, over the next, week or so, like what would you do? Like what I would do as far as a battle plan is just have your antenna on and pay attention to any business that you see that is advertising in your area. Like Jake said, listen to the radio. You'll hear the car, the auto stations or the furniture stores. Look at the billboards that you pass by that you may ignore, but now you're like, man, that billboard probably cost them $2,500, right?
Yeah, 500 will be a penny. It will be like them giving a penny. In fact, some of these won't buy from you yet because it's not enough. They're not interested in 10,000. They want 100,000. Like it's not like this is not. They're doing bigger thing. Yeah, the money that some of these businesses spend, and there's so much advertising around you that you don't really. You can also just go Google window replacement near me and look at the ones that are paying for Google ads. Look at the sponsored ads. Those are ones that are spending money. Those businesses will advertise. Kitchen replacement near me, roofing near me, insurance near me, workers' comp near me. You will find all the businesses that are paying for ads. And you can think, here's even, you could be in a dark room right now with no windows, just a notepad. I guarantee no matter where you are, you can think of a furniture store. You can think of a car dealer. You can think of a lawyer. You can think of a realtor. And those are the ones that have advertised. You see them advertise all the time. You don't even know it. You name them because you see them advertised everywhere. You can think of a martial arts school. You can think of a restaurant. You can think of a pizzeria. There's something that sticks out. There's an insurance agent that you may never have used, but you can think of them. You can name a furniture store. You can name a mattress store. You can name one because of the advertising they do. And those are ones that will buy ads from you much easier than just randomly picking people.
That's true. And it's all around you. Like it is all around you. And this is a plug here. For those who have our local growth formula, originally called Birthday Formula AI, like this is the perfect foot in the door. This is the perfect foot in the door service to be able to sell an entry service to sell your core local growth machine. Like it just makes sense. I see a question here, Jake. Can you talk a little bit on the printing process? So let's say that someone says, okay, I got 16 businesses that want to do this. What do they do next? Because I know you have a printing fulfillment company. If you could just speak on that for a moment.
I own printingforsupercheap.com, and you will never find cheaper postcards than through me. No matter where you live in the whole U.S., they will be cheaper, faster, better quality. There's no one else that will have better prices, better speed, better quality. I really own that. EDDM postcards, which is, I don't want to get it. It's just the kind of postcards that you'll be sending. And it's easy. You email me the art where you can make these on Canva. You can email me anytime. I'll give you instructions. It's a really simple, I don't want to bog people down in the printing process because it's really the most simplest thing. I got you. And even if I would buy Jason's course, really buy this bundle at Jason's incentive. I don't have it anywhere cheaper than on his incentive thing, but on his coupon. But if you're selling spaces, just send me an email. I will work it out with you, the printing. It's so easy.
Awesome, man. I've worked with you a few times and it's definitely true.
Yeah.
It's just a simple process. Eric says you have to pick up the course. You will not be disappointed. It's true. It's
Another
just
thing,
just grab it.
timing, seasonal. Like there's always a big season around the corner, especially as you get fall and spring. But let's say, yeah, you have Christmas, you can start doing, you have Valentine's Day, you can do Valentine's Day themed cards. What businesses are going to want to advertise on a Valentine's Day? You can think of florists and chocolates and cupcakes and jewelers. Like, you can theme cards all the time. You can also help like communities. Like, I made a video. I said, am I racist for this? And the overwhelming, I don't know if you saw this one, Jason, you probably didn't. I made a video on my YouTube. I'm like, am I racist for this? And overwhelming, well, except one, which is funny. You'll laugh at this, Jason. But I said, I have wanted to for years, but I'm like, I don't feel totally like, I don't know if this would, I wanted to do like for Black History Month, like I just want to help the Black community. Like, I just want to make a card that's all Black owned businesses, but I don't want to be a white guy trying to sell this. Like, I don't know if that's weird or not. But I'm like, Black owned businesses do, just by nature, I think they have it. It's a little more challenging. There's no real, and as an African American person, you probably would appreciate getting a card of all Black owned businesses in your mail. Like, it would just be a nice thing. It doesn't mean you could be any race to go visit them, but it would just be nice to have something that puts Black owned businesses in one spot and gets it out to the community.
That's a phenomenal idea. I've never even seen
I would love to see it happen. I would love to just encourage it to happen. And because I get a lot from YouTube, I get an overwhelmingly amount of Black owned business. And they're like, I'm not Black. I don't know. Like, there's hair product. Like, I didn't realize how big the African American or ethnic hair product business is. There's like a ton of money spent on hair products. I didn't know that, but these businesses, like, the demand is huge, but they struggle really hard because they don't totally understand marketing. It's a business a lot of people don't really know is out there, but the demand is really high. So I would love to give and that could be any ethnic, like it could be Mexican or whatever, like on one card in one spot. I think it would be well received. But what was funny was, like, I think the only person, I did a live on it, like, overwhelmingly people were like, this is great. This is totally no problem. Like, the one person who said that would probably not be a good idea was just some like random white lady that was on. It was the only person that said it was stupid, was a white lady. Meanwhile, there's like 100 Black people saying like, this, go for it, Jake. This is, yes, we need this in the community. But things with, whether it's ethnic, maybe you put a card out that's just in Spanish. Like, there's Spanish communities, they don't speak a lot of English, or maybe a Russian community or something. They would appreciate a card that's all in their native language with those businesses on it. There's just themes. It could be home improvement theme. It could be ethnic theme. It could be food themed. It could be fitness around a turn of the year, and you do a fitness based card with all vitamin shops and gyms, boot camps, martial arts and things. They don't have to compete, but they all fill in a similar theme. So much you can do with these.
Yeah, to do themes. And what I'm hearing is the ideas are truly unlimited, especially if you get in front of it, like certain holidays, or like you mentioned, themes. Like, you could have cards going at the same time, to different communities or different audiences. I just think this is still, to this day, a very untapped and simple, fast path to cash method for any agency owner. Like, it's just a solid method, man. David asked, what info do we usually collect from a business that says, yes, let's do it? Like,
I'm big. I don't use contracts. None of that. There's some people who do, but that is too complicated for me. I read businesses like to do, business on a handshake. It's fine. If you start selling long-term, like 12-month contract, then you need to have like some kind of agreement in hand, but don't even bother with that. You're just a business owner reaching out to another business owner to see if they want to go on the card together. That's it. Doesn't have to be. I don't even think about that.
You know what? I'm glad you mentioned it. I remember, I'm going to find this thing script, man. But one of the things for commonality for like footing was mentioning that as well. It's like, hey, I'm a business owner in the area. I know you are as well, and I'm putting together this ad co-op to be able to help business owners get more visibility and exposure. Would you like to have your business would you like to have your business more exposure for your business on this card? Like kind of finding common ground, like
Yeah.
we're alike.
Just looking to share the cost, just looking to cut down the cost.
It works.
That's it. You're just looking to cut down the cost together. Get this thing out, promote local business, no big chains on there, no competitors.
And I'm just thinking too of like the recurring factor, because I know the few times we did it, pretty much like majority of those businesses did it again the second time and the third time.
Yeah. Anyone with a brain will. They don't always have brains. They don't always have brains, but anyone with a brain.
It works so well, but we're just gonna give it a break.
They literally will. They literally will get. You will have businesses get a ton of response, and they'll be like, "Yep, we'll do it again. We got too busy or whatever, and we'll when it gets slow again." You're like, "What the heck?" Meanwhile, the other, the lawyer that gets just spent $2,800 for a quarter of the card or something, they don't care. They're just like, just make sure I'm the only one on there. I don't want the other lawyer on there. I don't want the other mattress guy on. That's all they care about.
I love it, man. Joseph asks, do you think this will work for new movers also? What would be the difference between that and EDDM every day?
Yeah, every door direct mail. So these are sent every door direct mail, which just means you pick areas. It's really easy. There's a map tool. You pick the areas and everyone gets them, like a whole neighborhood. It's usually 500-600 people on a route, and the mailman just delivers to everyone. New movers and targeted mailings are where you pick, you get lists of a certain demographic. It might be a certain age range, might be married people, might be single, different incomes, and you mail directly to those lists or to people who just moved in the area. That's a more complicated thing. It's very powerful and it's very useful, but it's a whole other kind of mailing. These are very simplified, and it just goes to pockets of the community that you want. You basically just pick areas on the map that you think are good, whether that's suburbia, gated communities. My process is I like to think of who I'm going to target for advertisers and where would they like to go. Who would they like to reach? Would it be this area, these incomes, where these people are? Because I want to tell someone, okay, this is going to the Upper East Side, or this is going to the whatever. Every geographic area is different. They'll know neighborhoods, parts of town. I want to give them something attractive to mail to.
Makes sense. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Okay, David says, I meant info that we should collect, such as like images or a discount. I'll speak from just my experience, and Jake, feel free to chime in on this. Like the main things I did was like what is on the card, like the business name, address, the graphic, and then most importantly, our card had a lot of just offers. So like what is a good offer? And then that was the main components. Would you add to that or kind of refine that?
Yeah, you can get in the beginning, I was very results like, oh my God, you have to have I would try to really get people to give the best offers possible, because I wanted them to have the best results, but I also wanted people getting the card to be really happy getting it. And there's a fine line with pushing people too much, because you'll turn them off. Some people don't like to they just don't want to give really strong offers, and you're not there to argue with them, over $500. But also if you start, it's a fine balance, because if you start really trying to convince someone to give really strong offers and then they don't get great response, which really you don't have any control over that, it starts looking like they're like, well, you told me, you made me do this, this, you obviously don't know what you're doing or whatever. And then when really it could have been, they just were a bad company. Some people don't get great response because they're not a well-known company, or they got a poor reputation, or it's out of your control. So I kind of just suggest good offers, but I don't really force people to.
That makes sense. And
I don't want to be I don't want to be responsible in the end, because you can't be. You can help people, but you're not responsible. And if you start telling them to do too much, then they put the responsibility on you.
Hmm.
They
And I
blame
think,
you.
going to the core of, the theme we've talked about is the benefit of direct mail is the exposure. Like that's
That is the benefit of it. Yes, correct.
yeah.
We're not magician. We're not crystal ball. Like I can't.
Yeah.
You can put the most popular restaurant in town on a card and barely put any, you could put $1 off and they'll get a ton of response because it's popular, it's well loved, it's well recognized. If you put some place that just opened up and it's in a terrible location and it's got 2 1-star reviews and people are saying they're getting sick, like that business is not going to do that well. You don't have any, it's not the medium, it's the business itself. So you can just provide the exposure. You can help. There's things you can do to help, but you're just providing space on a car. You're just providing the exposure. You're a billboard in their mailbox.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
a billboard in their mailbox. Yeah.
That's a good line.
That's what you're providing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's sweet, man. All right, I think we got a few more here. I know we're wrapping up soon. Let's see here. Just looking at the pricing for a self-mailer for 10,000 pieces, is it correct that if a person did it on their own, it will be in the range of maybe 2,000 for 10K? Or would it be more? Like what?
No, for 9x12. So this is a big postcard. You can kind of see from, I don't think it's showing my screen, but it's a giant postcard. It's really big. If you were to call up 10 printers locally, you'll probably be in around $1 to $2 per piece just printed. And then you have postage, which if you were to traditionally mail, it would take 2 stamps. So you're looking at like $3 per piece to mail one of these. So you're talking in this range of $7,000 to $20,000 if someone was to go do a 9x12 mailer themselves. If you use a really cheap wholesale printer that specializes in this, like me, there's not many of us, you will get this down. I charge about $2,000 for 10,000 of these. And then you have postage through EDDM, which is currently 21 cents each. So it's about 4,000 all in, and you're collecting about 8,000. So you're netting 4,000 on the low end, but it should be 5,000-6,000 profit if you're pricing it right.
I love it, man. And I think too, I never like to sound like one of those guys like, and that's why you need the course. But it's like, well, for real, the
course is, oh my God, it's the best money you could spend. Yeah, definitely. And I should be selling this course for like $2,500. I really should. I don't know why I don't, but
I agree.
Yeah, it really is. And I've actually never bought I've never really bought like a big marketing course, but everyone tells me, I've spent 10 grand on a course and it's like nothing even close to what you have here for a couple $100. Like it's totally worth it. I undercharge it like significantly, but and I took even more off for you, Jason. I took even more off for you.
You did, man, and I'm grateful. I'm sure everybody else is too, and it's definitely worth it. And I think one thing I noticed is just it's the details and the nuances, and kind of like from a macro 1,000-foot view, the concept is very simple, but it's the subtle questions like, well, how does EDDM work? And
there's objections like pitch, how to avoid objections, how to get sales really quick, everything from like preparing, like picking your advertisers to the actual all the different methods of closing, just having that roadmap, because you'll run into like roadblock, you'll run into speed bumps that you could avoid if you just had them all laid out before you. So you'll run into speed bumps, and this clears out all the speed bumps.
I love it. Diego asks, hey Jake, what do you say to someone that may be on the fence to, I guess, close them on the spot?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a specific script or.
Yeah. Someone's on the fence. I've been in sales like most of my life now, so I'm very comfortable in those positions. But if someone is on the fence, they're gonna do it. So you usually have to just give them a little bit extra of something. Now, if you haven't taught, sometimes I find that I'm pitching this and I forget to like mention exclusivity. Like that's a really good spot to be in, because if someone is on the fence, you can put them over the fence by saying, hey, you know what, if you just lock this space down, let's do this, and I won't put another HVAC company on. I'll leave you as the only one, because you may have forgotten something like that, and that can really seal the deal, something like that. Or you can jump them to a bigger space if you have multiple sizes on a card. You can say, you know what, if you can just save me the time of finding another HVAC company, I'll do this, or if it's the money, if you don't want to come, I like to poke fun at business owners because it's in my nature to do that. But I'll be like, if this is going to take food off the table, Rick, if I need to take, and they love that. If you say it in a joking manner, and you're another business owner, so they don't get offended, and you say something like that, they like that. You know what? Yeah, let's just do it.
That's gold.
Yeah, 1 second.
That is gold. Yeah, I love the exclusivity play as well, and that's how I've done this. Everyone on this call listening to sell this, I kind of bake that into the script. Like,
Rick, if it's gonna take food off the table, I don't want you to do it, Rick. Oh my God. Yeah, usually you just have to bring them to reality a little bit.
I love it.
But that's the point. That's like in the mindset. That's a mindset thing. Some people have a hard time like being with confidence, and I struggle with confidence too. A lot of us do. But you have to remember, you are a business owner just like them. You have to talk to them like you're a business owner, not like a sales rep or not like a rep. You are, or a vendor. You're another business owner. There's a certain level of respect that you've got to give and expect. If you go in there with that mindset, it's just like going up to a gatekeeper. Like you have to demand to talk to, I need to talk to the business owner. I own whatever. I'm a business owner. I just want to talk to the business owner. You have to go in there with that confidence.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's see. David asks, will you do a webinar with 9x12s incorporating with Coupon Reach? Yes. So that is our plan for June. And some of our mastermind members know that's kind of the direction that we're going these next 30 to 45 days. And which is one of the reasons why I wanted to see if Jake could come and just give some great info, and why I do recommend this course here as well. Just curious, because I invited some other people that are outside of our mastermind to this call today. Is there anyone that does not have Coupon Reach that may be interested in Coupon Reach? If so, don't go to our main website to grab it, and we can hook you up with something special. Just put a me in the question box if you don't have Coupon Reach but you would like it. I do believe that with the 9x12 in conjunction with the digital coupons, it's a no-brainer. It's just an easy in. So we're going to be teaching a lot on that in June. So for those who are interested, put a me. And also, okay, I see a few me's in here. Mariah, could you start just a notepad, please? And for those who put a me in, if you could put your email in the chat right now also, and Mariah will add that, and we'll just get you an email. Do not go to mylocalagency.co and pick up Coupon Reach, otherwise you'll pay $1,000 for it. We'll give you something else, a greater offer. So, but if you want to donate to our company, that is fine. And you will have, the best coupon software on the market. But if you want a greater offer, a greater deal, just put your email in right now, and we'll get you that. Let's see here. Any other questions before we get off of here? I do recommend you all go to mylocalagency.co/9x12. Jake has created a solid step-by-step A to Z, no stone unturned course on how to master selling this service, which I highly recommend. And we're going to be talking deeper again this upcoming month in June on combining the two. So really excited about that. And I think it's really good that you have a baseline understanding on what to do, because when we combine these two, it will get a little bit more advanced, and I do want you to be up to speed. So, okay, I see a lot of people emailing. Good. let's see, we're going to run this through the weekend, that you'll see this offer. And I would just pick it up. It's good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff here. All right. Any final questions before we get out of here? We've been on an hour and a half. Jake has been awesome. Otherwise, we will get off of here.
Man, people stayed too. I see
Yeah.
pretty much
Yeah,
everyone stayed. Like, geez, that's nice.
Who's excited about this model? Like, who's excited about selling this service? It's phenomenal.
I've got to get you on YouTube on my interview with YouTube. I know you've got a lot to share just to
Yeah.
business owners, you know, and how to the coupon reach, I think, is a fantastic thing for business owners. And just to give them so many business owners today, I found this out, is there's really not a lot of options out there to advertise anymore. There just isn't. They put some money into Facebook ads. They have trouble with that. SEO is really challenging now. And like that's why they go for EDM, but postcards, because it's something new. But I feel like what you have too is something that will kind of give them hope in the digital space as well. You know, and I really think that would be a really good fit for people.
I agree, man. I'm looking forward to it, Jake, and I'm open to coming to your audience too and doing, whether it's a YouTube interview or a call.
Yeah. I just think, and probably just you've been at this for 15 years too, haven't you? Pretty much the same time I have.
That's crazy. I think I came in, 2012, 2013?
Yeah, see, I'm a 2011, so it's like the same thing. Like we've been through so much, you know, ups and downs, and people forget that, like, you know, we have our ups and downs too. Like, we all have interesting stories and hurdles that we've come across, and how we overcame them. And I'm sure you have a lot to share too. And just sometimes you just need motivational help too. Like, I know as business owners, like, we don't always have someone to hear that's in our position, that someone else is dealing with the same things that we might be, you know, and how we got through it. It's so lonely. It's so lonely as business owners. We feel like we're the only ones out there when there's really others.
That's true. And others going through similar things, but we think we're alone.
And you know, we can never, things change. I don't know if you feel the same way about this, but I always feel like things could change any moment. Like, I could be broke tomorrow. I could be in a really bad place tomorrow. I'm never ignorant of that, you know? And just, I like having things that allow me to always be, you know, I never worry now. I'm not going to worry if I went broke to someone sued me, I lost everything. I'd be totally fine. You know, I would just use these same systems and get right back at it.
Dude, that in itself is empowering, you know, especially so much certainty. It's like, you know, where's the money going to come from? Maybe business is down, and maybe we're speaking to someone on this call right now, you know, and it's like having a surefire plan that if I needed to make, you know, a few grand this month, what would I do? It's like, you can go out and sell the service immediately.
Right. You could see it happening in the next month or two, and you can have whatever issue resolved. Or like some people, like especially to get older, like you start getting in your 40s, 50s, probably maybe even 60s, 70s, and you are just trying to figure out like a business. Your spouse might not have faith in you. You know, this gives you something that you can do, get some money and show, hey, I can do this. You know, we just bought this nice couch on this. We just took this vacation on this. Like, it can really change a marriage. It can change a life, no matter how old you are. It's not too late. You know, it's not too late. Some people, I think, feel like it's too late. I'm trapped in this job. How can my spouse? Well, I've tried all these different things and it doesn't work. And this gives them hope to actually get some money, like some real money, pretty quick to show their spouse. Like, I feel like a lot of people get in that position where they don't get the support from their spouse, and this is something that's nice to show. Hey, I just made $5,000. You know, I'm going to take you to wherever. It's a nice thing. It can do a lot.
That's real, man. That's one thing I've always appreciated about you, Jake, is you don't do the BS, man. You say the things that, you know, people sometimes just, you know, it's like they suffer in quiet desperation, suffer in silence, but you actually say the things that people go through, and that's real, man.
Yeah. It's true. And you see all these gurus and stuff, and you're like, they present themselves, but then you'll watch them and they'll be like, 2 years ago I was broke or something. And I'm like, wait a second, I was following you 2 years ago. You weren't talking about that. Now all of a sudden, you were in a bad spot or something. Like, what? I'd rather see the reality parts of this. It's like I would rather take fitness advice from someone who's in extremely good shape. I would take fitness advice from you. It's and especially if they've gone, and then you see, like, I'm sure there was you're pretty jacked, but I'm sure there was a time where you probably lost control and you probably gained some extra pounds. Yes. And there was something you did that got you out of that. I respect someone who has been through, these changes and has gotten out of it.
Absolutely.
Like more than just someone putting up a persona of everything is always perfect. And always has been, because it's not. Then you find out these people are, complete trash.
I love it, man. Carrie says, outselling ads now. Just sitting down with a guy who has just paid $2,400, $800 for 3 cards, finalizing his art and his offers. He wants me to hook him up on the digital side too.
Jesus.
Congrats, Carrie. That's awesome, man. Wow. That's awesome, brother. Good stuff. Dang. Yeah, y'all jump on this model, because we're talking about it. We're going deeper with it. So it's gonna be fun. But Jake, I don't want to take up, more of the time, man. This was a pleasure. I look forward to coming on to the radio show.
I know. Yeah.
Look forward to it.
Yes.
Awesome, man. Did you all get value today? Please give Jake a digital thank you round of applause. This was phenomenal. I love it. I love it. I love it. We'll do our best to get this replay out in a timely manner. And again, if you all are interested in Coupon Reach, put your email in. Mariah, our customer experience director, will reach out to you all. Give us till maybe tomorrow, because we get this kind of end of the day right now. But we'll definitely look out for you. And if you all want to learn this model, I highly recommend just go to mylocalagency.co, 9x12, and you'll get hooked up with a super special offer. So with that said, thank you all for being here as always. Thank you for being part of our amazing community. We value you as a member, as a subscriber, as a customer. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon. Later. Thanks, Jake.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
See ya.